Hey guys, it's Kenya, and in this video, I want to talk to you about support and resistance really quickly, what they are, how to recognize them, and I want to show you how I use support and resistance zones to improve my scalping strategy and how I'm able to catch more pips. I know some of you see the Telegram and you're like, how is she getting in so early and still capitalizing off of the 15-minute time frame? It's very hard to teach this to new people if they don't understand it. So I recommend that you master the basics and go through IML Academy. And then I want to just show you this video and just break it down really simple, okay? So typically on the 4-rule strategy, we use the 5 and the 15-minute time frame. We look for 4 confirmations on the 5-minute time frame, and then we switch over to find that same confirmation on the 15-minute time frame. Before we even do that, I want to show you something, simply how I mark up my chart with support and resistance and how I identify zones to help me make entry and exit decisions when using the 4-rule strategy. And I'll show you how I'm able to get in earlier and catch some of those pips, okay? So let's talk a little bit about support and resistance. You probably already know what it is, but very simply, support is the level where price finds it difficult to fall below. Let me just grab a line really quick. So I'm gonna put a line right here. So it finds it difficult to fall below until it eventually fails to do so, and then it bounces back up. And so let me put a line right here, and that's gonna be for resistance, okay? And basically, let me highlight this area. So I'll show you exactly why I did this, but I'm gonna show you exactly another way that I do it too. But this is a level of support here, and I want you to imagine that we're in a building on the first floor, and we're standing on the floor. So we call our support the floor, okay? So basically, the psychology behind this is that, very simple, guys. It's simply many traders making trading decisions at this level, all right? That's what it is. So this is our support, and then we have something called our resistance. So if we're on the first floor of the building, I want you to imagine that I give you a ball and I say, I want you to throw this ball really, really high, as far as you can, and touch the ceiling, okay? So I'm gonna give you the ball and you're gonna throw it all the way to the ceiling, but you threw it to the ceiling and you didn't throw it hard enough, and what happened? The ball returned to the floor, our support area. This is exactly what price is doing all the time. It's simply going up and down and up and down, or moving in a range, in a sideways range, okay? But the first step of drawing our support and resistance zones on our charts, we do this so that we can spot where the price would probably reverse. And after you do this, it will resemble support and resistance areas that you can take advantage of for your entries and your exits. Now, some people ask me, do you use wicks or do you use bodies to draw your support and resistance? And I'm going to show you an easier way that I do this. If you get rid of all of this, and I'm going to get rid of the lines, I'm going to get rid of this, and I'm on TradingView. You can open a free TradingView account. I like TradingView because it allows you to see the big picture of data and everything. It's just very clear. So if you go here, click on this little candle area, and if you select line, it's going to turn it to a line chart. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to plot a few support and resistance zones on here, and then I'll tell you exactly why I put these lines or created these zones here, okay? So I'm going to put a line there. I'm going to put a line, I'll start here. I'm going to put a line right there, and then I'm going to put another line right here, and I'm going to put another line right here. And I'm going to do just one more. I usually like to have 2 lines above price and 2 lines below price. But, okay, so I plot my lines there. So you have your lines on here, and now, and see how easy it is with the line chart, because it easily just kind of maps it out for you, so there's nothing in question. So when you are doing support and resistance trading, align with multiple touches. So now let's turn this back to a candle chart. Turn it back to a candle chart, and let me just show you something. So this support area here, you see that? So we're basically just pointing out peaks and bottoms, what I like to call it in the market. These peaks and bottoms, these reversal areas where price came to these levels, tried to break this zone area, and either broke through it, it broke through the zone, or it reversed. We had a price reversal. So it's better when you have multiple touches. So see, you have one touch here, two touches, three touches, four touches, five touches, because it's clear that it stood against the price and passed the test for many times, and it'll continue to do so. So what I mean by that is that when price revisits these key level areas, the more touches you have, the better. It's going to eventually break, but the more touches you have, it shows that price will potentially reach these areas and reverse off of that area and go the opposite direction, okay? And why? Because history always repeats itself, and it continues to happen time and time again, and you'll see that on every chart. So now I'm going to show you something really quickly, because we use so I'm going to go off of the 5-minute time frame, okay? So let me bring this closer together, and then we'll look at the 4 rules strategy, and I'll show you exactly what I see versus what you might be seeing when you're looking at the 4 rules on the web analyzer and you're waiting for everything to come together. So I'm going to show you how I see the movement happen earlier, and I'm going to show you exactly when you're seeing it, okay? So this is the 5-minute time frame, and this is a setup that we have here. If you're on the web analyzer and you're using the 4 rules, I like to get rid of the fractal, so you can just click this X and get rid of it. And if you click this X and get rid of it, it'll disappear and it won't show, okay? So you can get rid of it there. And then, so look here, this is where we have a move here, okay? So remember, when you're using the 4 rule strategy, you want to draw your support and resistance, because that's going to potentially tell you where price might reverse and go the opposite direction. But look here, look what we have here. We have a perfect confirmation. All 4 rules are confirmed. You should know the 4 rules if you use this strategy. Your MACD crossed here on the 5-minute time frame. So look what I'm seeing here on a naked chart. This is the same move here, okay? So look what happened previously. We always look left for clues. So like I told you, price will come to an area or a zone, and it either is going to break or lose velocity and go the other direction. What happened? Price touched this resistance area, fell to break, and went short, okay? What happened? Price tested this area again. Look what happened when it tested this area again. We have a wick, all right? If you don't know anything about wicks, wicks are very, very important because they tell a story. Wicks basically tell us that there's a potential price reversal. And look what happened when we saw this wick, all right? So this is actually, you know, adding confluence to your strategy, telling you the more clues you have to give you a strong entry and exit position, the better. So if I am looking at the 5-minute time frame and I see, all right, we have 4 rules confirmed and we have a wick. I know previously that price rejected this area, and now look what happened. Buyers lose momentum, sellers come in and push price down. So what I do is I enter on the second candle that closes below the resistance area. And what happened? Price went short. All right, so this is how I'm catching the move early. By the time you're getting in, you're on the 15-minute time frame, and that's when you're getting in. And some of you, which I point this out all the time, when we get in the 15-minute time frame, we usually experience pullback. So let's go here and let's point this out. So let me just move this over a little bit. So let's say you get in here, the MACD crosses. Well, this was a nice confirmation, but let's say we can go to the 15-minute time frame. So let's look at the 15-minute time frame really quickly. And on the 15-minute time frame, we find that same move. So I think it was right up in here, maybe somewhere. So let's say the 15-minute MACD crosses, right? You get a few pips, and then you have your pullback that comes back to test this area. You see that? Test that area. And then look what happens. You have a nice wick, and then price goes short again. So if you're able to identify these things, you'll be able to take advantage of, you know, catching more pips, and you'll get the moves earlier. But hopefully this is clear. I just want to show you basically, you know, how I identify these support and resistance zones, how I actually map out support and resistance, and how I use it with the 4 rule strategy to catch more pips. The market is always going to pull back. It's going to, you know, it's going to go short, go long, it's going to pull back. So a lot of times I get in and I'll get in for 3 to 5 pips, and then I'll wait for it to pull back to my entry, and I get back in for another 3 to 5 pips, or I know that after a few touches, it's going to continue to go short or long, and that's when I'll just trail my stop loss. So I wanted to point that out. If you join our Telegram link is in the description of this video. You'll see a lot of the setups that I put inside of our Telegram, and all of this will click and start to make sense. So I hope that you guys find this helpful. You now understand support and resistance and how to identify it, how to map it on a chart, and also how to use it with the 4 rules to catch more pips. If you have questions, comments, anything, comment on this video, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next training. Join our Telegram, and I look forward to helping you guys and having a ton of fun.